Do you ever get tired of watching anime? Today we're talking about getting tired of anime. Have you ever gotten tired of anime? Because I know I have, and I've talked to many other people who have gotten tired of anime as well, and I realize that we all made several common mistakes that I really wanted to discuss, because it's important to really hear these things, because there are some people out there that once they get tired of watching anime once or maybe even twice, that's it for a lot of people. They realize, like, hey, anime just doesn't offer anything for me, and they just quit watching it. And I think that that is a sad mistake, because there's plenty of beautiful shows out there that they could have been checking out and really enjoying, but they've gotten tired of it because they made these mistakes. What happened to me was, if you remember years back, and I remember there are some of you out there that still watch me after years, I remember seeing you in the comments, and I just get this warm feeling like, damn, this guy's been around for a long time, and I really appreciate that. But there are some people out there, they'll remember years back, I used to do maybe like one video a week, maybe even less than that, because I was tired of watching anime. I got burnt out, and I just wanted to do other stuff. The mistakes that I were making, along with plenty of other people that have made these same mistakes, were basically that, one, we were watching too many of the same type of show. I know the feeling. You get done watching a show and you're like, yes, this was amazing. I need more of this in my life. So you go and watch something else along those same lines. Eventually, you're going to get to a point where you're just tired of watching that same type of anime. What I do to combat this is I make sure to watch something completely different after it. I'll go from a romance to a sci-fi, or a sci-fi to a mystery, or mystery to action. I try and change it up a lot, so I'm always watching something different. I've tried to do theme months, like I tried to do a theme week of Valentine's Day once, and theme week of horror stuff, and I get burnt out from just doing the same things, and I never meet the schedule that I wanted to, just because I'm burnt out of watching the same type of shows. So you have to have diversity. Secondly, I find that some people are only watching seasonal anime, and I think this is another mistake, because you have to consider that even if you're not watching seasonal anime right now, at least half of the shows that you're keeping up with or watching are either going to have a bad ending, maybe it's a non-canon ending because they couldn't, they rushed the show into production, maybe it's a fuck you, go read the manga ending, where they just cut it and expect you to pick up the books in a different medium and just go ahead and read the rest of the story that way. And of course, there's always the possibility that your anime may end on some sort of cliffhanger that you're going to have to wait for another season, but you've already resigned yourself to watching this as soon as it comes out. So for about 12 weeks, you make sure to watch that episode the day it comes out, and then you get to a point where you have to wait 2 years to see the next episode. If you're only watching seasonal anime, and there's nothing wrong with watching seasonal anime, because I'm doing it too, but you really are stuck in this perpetual state of watching nothing happen. You're kind of like spinning wheels every week, because you're watching so many shows where they're not actually getting anywhere, because they're waiting for the conclusion or waiting for the second season, or maybe you'll get a snippet of plot development or whatever in certain episodes, but you're watching so many series which you don't know if they're going to have a good ending. You don't know if there's going to be anything like positive, any sort of development within the episodes that you're watching. So I would always say that if you're watching just seasonal anime, you gotta be sure to pair that with something that you know is gonna have a good ending and you know is already finished. That's what I always do. In fact, I mostly watch anime which are already finished anyways. That's why in my reviews, even if they are spoiler-free, I'll always talk about the ending and say whether or not the ending is complete, or it's gonna leave you off for a read the manga ending, because I think this is an important bit of information to have. I'm gonna be honest with you and tell you where I'm at right now in my anime watching, and I know some people are gonna hear this and they're gonna say, Bob, that is a downright lie. Quit lying to these people, because you're an asshole elitist that hates everything. But the fact of the matter is, I have never been more interested in watching anime in my entire history of watching anime. There have been times when I first started off that I was interested in a specific series more than I was now, just because my knowledge of anime was really limited and I had only seen a few shows. So like Full Metal Alchemist was the world to me, or Samurai Champloo, all of these shows, I would get deep into specific fandoms. I really don't get into fandoms of specific shows anymore, because I am about anime as a whole. I realize that even though I've seen the better part of 500 anime, like 450 anime, I realize that there are so many more shows, more movies out there that I have yet to see that could make my top 10 list or make my top 20 list. I realize this because I always keep my mind open to watching new shows. Right now, I'm watching Rosa Versailles, heavily recommended. This was a great recommendation by the Undefeated Magician, and I am just impressed. This is a show from the 70s. I recently got into the 70s, and the only show I had seen was Lupin the Third, Castle of Cagliostro, and Gundam, the original Gundam series. Aside from that, I thought that the 70s anime was nothing but toy commercials for robots. And now that I'm in the 70s anime, I am really impressed by certain shows. So even though I do feel that way about anime, I do recognize that I enjoy other things, and I always make time, maybe if it's a few hours out of the week, to go out of my way and enjoy some of these other things. Like, even though this is all anime over here, all of this shelf right here, there's none of it over there. That's all movies and TV shows, and there's some video games too. But I always make sure to just spend a few hours a week just doing something else just to keep everything fresh. So if you feel like you're one of these people that is starting to get tired of anime and you feel like everything is just kind of the same and that it has nothing to offer you anymore, then I would recommend going down to my description section right now and checking out some of those videos that I've linked down there, because there are a few lists which I am confident you will find at least one anime that is going to become one of your favorites. I can guarantee you that, because there are plenty of amazing series that I've talked about in those videos. So go ahead and check those out. Hopefully I can help you out with that. Also, everyone sees the giveaway link. We're still doing the giveaway. We still got another few weeks left on that, because that ends on the 18th. So enter while you can. Hopefully this goes well so I can get another giveaway going. I'm not sure yet. We might have something in the works here, but we're going to have to wait and see. Anyways, thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts about the video in the comment section below. I'll see you next time.